Following 3 decades of conflict, Afghanistan is one of the poorest countries in the world, in which rural infrastructure has been decimated and local communities fractured. Despite this, the country is very different today from what it was only 5 years ago. Since then, the Afghan government has made a full-scale effort to rebuild collapsed systems and institutions by focusing on the empowerment of rural men and women.
In Afghanistan, there are 2 major challenges. Challenge number 1 is to win the hearts and minds of the people of Afghanistan. The reason is that this country suffered from 23 years of failed state. And during these 23 years, there was a total disconnect between the state and the citizens of the country. How to rebuild it. The only way to rebuild this broken relationship and strengthen it is to ensure government visibility and government leadership of development. And this relationship can be also further strengthened by putting the communities into the implementation and decision-making process, so that government-led, community-owned development will have a positive stabilizing effect in Afghanistan.
The National Solidarity Programme is the government's primary vehicle for community development. It seeks to empower local people, strengthen democracy, alleviate poverty, and increase faith in the Afghan government by facilitating the establishment of local governance bodies in villages across the country.
We need to mobilize the energy, the capability of that exists in rural communities. In Afghanistan, rural Afghanistan constitutes 80% of our population. If Afghanistan is able to mobilize the energy of this 80% of its population, that we will be able to accelerate the process of development in this country. Good governance has a very direct linkage, direct effect on the successful development, and successful development leads to elevation of poverty. This is an international experience, and we are seeing the result in Afghanistan, because there the cost of development, the cost of delivery of development is cheaper. The quality of development the quality of project is higher, because you give people a hope, you give people a pride that we built our school, and this gives them a sense of achievement.
The programme supports community district councils to lead their people through steps to identify, plan, manage and monitor their own development projects. To build ownership, the villages contribute a part of the cost of each undertaking through voluntary donation of cash, labour or construction materials.
There is a 10% community contribution towards the cost of the projects, and the community contribution in many cases has gone higher than 10%. What is significant is that we have been able to promote a strong sense of ownership of these community projects. People look after the projects. They take the responsibility for operation and maintenance.
Despite widespread achievements of the programme, finding funding has been a constant struggle. The consequences of a failure to deliver could be damaging.
The danger is that if we don't receive sufficient funding, this will lead to the disappointment of the rural people. Where we went, we established the councils, but due to lack of funding, we are not able to transfer their block grants so that the communities could implement their projects. This will lead to dissatisfaction and distrust again between the state and the citizens.
Whether we believe that security comes before development or vice versa, one cannot survive without the other. In any post-conflict environment, trust must be established between state and society.
In our experience, it is proved that security and development are 2 sides of the same coin. It has to go side by side together. It is not the case what to do first. It is to do both at the same time. As a security situation can be stabilized if you manage to give people hope. if you manage to involve people in the process of development and reconstruction, if you create a space for people to take charge of their own lives.
Daniel Morgan, Kabul, Afghanistan.